Hi, how is everybody? Sorry it's been a bit. And happy Friday on a Tuesday, which in our family is actually Friday because this is last day of Jason's work week. So it's kind of Friday. But it made me realize that these are probably going to end up doing better on a Tuesday or Wednesday when people are at work and school and it's quiet than on a Friday when everybody's home. So let me just say, lesson learned. Check these out early in the week. I am going to do another one either tomorrow or Thursday. And hopefully upload it showing you how to make canna butter and just some other marijuana stuff. So that's coming up this week. So don't feel like this is your only video and you're like, great. Pull up. I'm drinking grape juice. Whatever you feel like smoking or drinking, come on by. Let's chit chat and get caught up, shall we? The blonde hair is going. It's going to be white again. I can't. I tried. It's a beautiful color. I don't like it anymore. It's too normal. I can't do it. But it's beautiful. And shockingly, it doesn't look horrendous on me. So I'll take it. I got LASIK. So my little eyes are very tired right now. But I have the house to myself and it's quiet for a while. I keep looking at the dogs like. What else? I have an email. So sorry, my eyes are very dry and I needed to do those droppy things and I'm not really great at it. If you don't know, I have an email and I do check it. Like little old me, check it. And it's called Stage 4 Cancer Mom. And it's the 4, like the number 4, not written out. Stage 4 Cancer Mom at Gmail. So I got a great little email last night from Miriam, who was our foreign exchange student that our family hosted in 92, let's say, maybe. Yeah, we'll go around there. Anyway, her family and our family, we've always stayed really close, and I went to Germany to see when her sister got married. So I went to the wedding, and it was beautiful in the Black Forest. It was crazy. But we still stay in touch, and she sent me an email, and it was just the sweetest. So feel free to reach out. If you have questions, if you just are having a bad day, listen, been there, done that. I'll commiserate with anybody. Let's see what else. I think that's it. So let's do an update, shall we? On the 20th, I had a PET scan. If you're not good with like waiting and you're biting your nails, the story doesn't end well. It's not horrible. Oh my goodness, look how shiny my little chin is. It's not horrendous for me yet. But we lost a girl in the group, and I'm going to talk about that later. So the 20th, I had a PET scan, and I never care about the scan itself, but my 4-year cancer anniversary was on Tuesday, and I didn't want my results then because I already knew that they weren't going to be good. There's just this familiarity with pain that comes along with bone cancer that if you look it up, like what's the worst pain? It's bone. There's a reason. So I have growth in old spots and new. So I've got, let's see, hips, pubic bone, tailbone, L5 vertebrae, 2 spots on my rib and my shoulders, and then the worst spot is my left humeral head, which I was telling my kids, I'm like, guys, you know the little heart that makes your bones, because you have hearts all over. And so I was like, that heart that's right up in your little bone, that this arm, they said that's where there's ouchies there, so mommy's got to be careful. Little side note, I got an x-ray because my doctor's like, hey, we want to see how bad this is. Like, I use my left arm for everything, like lifting, for picking up my purse, everything, carrying left arm. And I got a little nervous thinking, like, is my arm going to fall off? How bad is this? I'd already had a PET scan, keep in mind. So we already knew, and the x-ray tech, the x-ray radiology guy on the x-ray said that the humeral head was consistent with that of stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Okay, well, that's helpful, except we already knew that. So what would have been good was, like, how big it is, how bad it is. I guess it's fine. I don't know. So that's that. It hurts. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of tender. The tailbone sucks. Like, every time you sit, your tailbone just gets it. I cannot wait to get my hair cut tomorrow. I can't even tell you. But it's a little painful. So I put a little rush order on myself with the edibles, because I can't, if I take an Oxy during the day, I will be, no bueno. I'll be sleeping for like a while. They just knock me out. And I have another drug called Tramadol that I like, that works for pain, I should say. And it's okay, but I just don't like being on them. Like, I don't like taking them. So I made some canna butter, and I'm going to make chocolates tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted on how those go. Let's talk Allie. Oh my God, do you guys love my dogs? If you want them, I will trade you for a half an hour. Come here. Bugga. I know. Hi, Buggy. Come here. It's Frank. It's one of the 3 that's always needy. So my little group of 8, that was 8, I started calling in to this organization 4 years ago when I was first diagnosed. I was diagnosed January 21st of 16. So I think the first time I called in was April. It was really early on. And everybody had there had been kind of a recent turnover, if you want to call it that, where people hadn't really been calling in for a while, and they were trying to restart the group and get some more girls involved. And I found out about the organization, and I dialed in, and the first call, I remember being very overwhelmed that here I was 2 months in, scared to death, and here's these girls like laughing and having a great time, and I'm thinking, hold on a second, aren't you guys, like, what are you guys doing? It was just foreign to me, thinking like, we should be planning our funerals. Why are you guys laughing? And, I mean, so I say that because these girls and I feel like they're not really a sister, and they're not really a friend. They're kind of this weird just extension of myself, where I can relate to so much of their lives that we just kind of get each other, that, we're there for each other. We understand the situation, and you just do the best you can do. But unfortunately, we share some of the hardest times together. And so during the week where I was having growth, Allie sent us a note, and she was saying that, her liver was getting bad, and that she had all this fluid build up and didn't know, and she was just scared and she didn't know what to do. And she's sending us pictures, and the minute I saw her picture, my face just dropped. It's tough to see it, and she would send texts and say, like, my eyes are jaundiced, and I'm sleeping a lot, and I'm not eating, and I'm thinking, I don't need to read between the lines. I can literally read the lines. That, then on that Friday, like the 25th or whatever, we finally convinced her. So Allie is this non-New Yorker. Allie went to MIT, super brilliant, very quiet, very reserved, very introverted. But then when you get her around her family, you just are kind of like, who is this person? Because she just opens up, and it's just the best. Like, to get a rise out of Allie and to get her to laugh or to just have a reaction, you feel like you've just won a huge prize. Because she's just very content. She's just a content person. Anyway, will you leave her alone? Come here. Anyway, she sent us the pictures Friday, and we finally got to the point where there's 2 other girls that are in New York. Sorry, I'm trying to move this at the same time. Goodness gracious, my little eyes are tired. So we were trying to get her to go into her doctor, and he was out of town, as always freaking happens. And so then on Tuesday, she sent us a text, and she had gone to her doctor, and she said that they told her she should look into a home health aide. And the whole time I had been kind of saying, like, what do you need me to do? Well, I will fly out. I will come. And she's like, no, we're good. And she's like, yeah, they're telling me I need a home health aide and something else. And so then a couple of us kind of went to a private text, and they're like, what's a home health aide? And I said, I think it's code for hospice. And she told us they were going to do a blood test the following Tuesday on like the 5th or something, and find out if her liver was failing. And I'm sitting there looking at her, and I'm just pissed, thinking, if you guys know something and you're not telling her, I might come find you. Her kids are my kids' exact ages. They could be twins. They're the same damn kids, like oldest and youngest, the same personality, everything. But that one was hard, and I don't know that I've fully processed it yet. But on Saturday, so here's what's weird. So believe it or not, or whatever you believe is totally up to you. But I've always seen dead people and always had a connection to things I can't understand. On Saturday, I remember we were just sitting here, and I was sitting on the chair, and I kept like grabbing my chest, which isn't Frank. which it was just heavy. Like, it just felt heavy. And I kept checking my heart rate because I don't have, hey, you don't belong up here. Thank you. Yep. Okay, come in here with mommy. Thank you. No, listen. But I kept checking my heart rate because I kept thinking, I've had heart problems, probably not the best. I better just double check and make sure everything's fine, which in the last month, I've had no unusual heart rhythm like I had been having. So that's great news. But still scares the shit out of me to get back on meds and know that that's one of the side effects that I get. But so Saturday, I just kept feeling just heavy and just not right. And something just kept telling me I need to reach out to him. So I reached out to Allie's husband on Saturday at like 4. And I just kind of said that I was worried and how were they? And I didn't hear back. And then Sunday, I got on Facebook and Allie had died Saturday night. And the worst was the 2 other girls were waiting for Allie to send us a text on Tuesday and say, here's what's going on. And I literally found out on Facebook, and I had to then call the girls and say, guess what I just read, so that you don't have to read it. And so that was Sunday. And then Tuesday, I was sitting at my neighbor's house on the floor. I don't know why we were sitting on the floor, by the way. Or no, we were sitting at the kitchen counter. And all of a sudden my phone lit up Allie's name. And I just started shaking. And my neighbor was like, what is going on? I'm like, it's Freddie. Like, everybody knew that I was waiting I needed to hear from Freddie. And so anyway, I see Allie's name come up on my phone and it just says Allie. And I push speaker and I'm like, hello. And I can hear the kids in the background. And the kids are like, Liam, give me this. And Davin, no, I'm blah, blah, blah. Like playing. And I can hear other voices in the background just being like, you guys are being, like having fun. And I don't know if that's the right word that I want to use, but so I'm I'm like, Allie, guys, I assumed Liam or somebody had the phone and didn't know that they had called me. And so I was trying to like, you guys, Allie just called, or Freddie just called me from Allie's phone and blah, 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 blah. Like, we knew nothing. And so, and she's Jewish. So all of us are thinking like, oh my God, we might find out on Facebook there was a funeral. Like it was not a good week to have growth and to have Allie deteriorate so quickly and then to have Allie die. But so I could hear all their little voices in the background. And when I stayed with them this summer, it was funny because I have the same teddy bear. I cuddle with a rabbit every night. His name is Scrunchy because he scrunches his nose. I mean, he doesn't, but he does. Anyway, he's a little Jellycat rabbit, and I bring him everywhere. I used to bring an elephant everywhere. Anyway, I bring this little rabbit everywhere that's 12 inches tall. And I brought him to New York with me when I went to see the girls last year. And I stayed at Allie's house the night before. And I had my bag and Scrunchy was at the top. And her son got there and he got into my bag and he's like, I have this rabbit. And all of a sudden he runs downstairs and he brings him back up and he's got like the little baby version of him. And I was like, oh my God, that's the cutest. But her kids are my kids. Like, they're the same age, everything. And so I bunked with Davin. It's late. And anyway, Liam set up his bunk so that his old white rabbit was in bed with me at the head of my bed. And then at the foot of the bed, in the bunk bed, he had different other toys that he likes. And then when we went to go to bed, Davin leaned down. He goes, good night. And I was like, oh, it was just very sweet. And then in the morning, and this is what I heard, and this is what made me so happy. So in the morning when I woke up, I'm in the kids' room, and Liam just slept with Allie and Freddie, and Freddie's running around the house, and the kids are going to go to a parkour class at the park in New York or something. And Freddie's running around going, pourquoi, pourquoi, top of his lungs. And then he comes in, he's like, pourquoi. And he looks at me and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's fine. It was the sweetest to just see this little family, just like mine, loud and obnoxious, and forgetting that you have family and you're still loud and you're like, whoops. But the number pops up and I could hear him and I thought the kids had it. And so I'm like, you guys, I'm pushing numbers. I'm just trying to get anything. And then the phone disconnected. And so I was like, I didn't know what to do. I tried calling back, nothing. So then later that night, the phone rings and it was Freddie. And he told me, the whole story of Allie and Izzy. Oh, that scared the living bejesus out of me. And he told me the story and then I said, did you know that you butt dialed me earlier? And he said, no, I didn't. He's like, I called you and I heard your voice and I couldn't read it and I didn't know if I could talk to you. And he said, I sat there and listened to you the whole time. And he's like, I heard you, saying the kids' names and trying to get me to pay attention. And he's like, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't. And it broke every part of me to not say anything. But he's like, I just had to hang up. And I'm like, I get it. Don't apologize. Oops. Sorry. Look at our feeling. Isn't that lovely? But I said, I get it. Like, you don't need to apologize to me. I'm just so glad you called. And so we talked for quite a while. And he gave me everything I needed. I was going to come out. I still am. Going to New York. Izzy! There was the 3 girls in New York and me, and then there's 2 other girls in the group. But unfortunately, the 4 of us have had more growth than the other 2. And so I think we started to feel like we were being Debbie Downers. And so, especially when Ellie started to get bad, she kind of stepped away from the bigger group and just needed to vent, I guess. And I think she just didn't want to bring anybody else down with her. But that one was hard. And that put a lot of things in perspective. I think for a long time, Izzy! She does this every night, and it drives me up the wall. I booked a vacation because I was like, yeah, I'm spending time with my kids. I think all of us assume that we're going to just run out of all of our drugs. Then we're going to have 6 months in hospice. And everything's going to just be wrapped up in a little bow. Isabel! Unfortunately, the 4 people that I have known of this have gone very fast. And even that's what Freddie kept saying to me. He's like, Melissa, it was so fast. It was so fast. And I was like, it's very hard to respond when you don't know what to say because it does suck. I'm just going to move up here so that maybe she'll shut up. I still have to ping up here, so don't pay attention. Okay, so anyway, so that's the Allie story. I'm still going to go out at the end of the month. We were all going to get together and just do what we could have. They were thinking about, nope. We were thinking about doing sightseeing. Different trip now. And that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but there's nothing to do about it. So yeah, I think it's changed a lot of things for me. So I kind of feel like I'm back into the world of living very short-termish. And I feel like that's how I have to function right now. Which I feel like for a lot of people becomes extremely morbid. But I think when you go through this a couple times, it gets hard. And then, you know, some of the girls are upset because they're like, you know, I only have 4 drugs left. And I'm thinking, that too. So, could be worse. And I think what's even scarier, so I have all my Piqray forms. So when you get a new drug, the way that my oncology office handles it is they give you these talking sheets. They call them talking sheets. Let me see if I have them since I'm standing up and walking around. Anyway, they tell you all of the wonderful things that you can expect from this wonderful... Oh, here we go. Here's the sheet I was going to tell you. This is what I get. So I get this... So it's like... It's from National Jewish, and it's got my information on it. And then it's got my pet results and everything. And then... I don't know if it's backwards or not for you guys, but either way, that's what they look like. And then they just say like musculoskeletal. No, wait, what is it? Musculoskeletal. And then it just talks about several new lesions, blah, blah, blah. But we get these talking sheets. So this is the one, and it's just a packet, and it talks about Piqray. And then this is the other one. And this is what they give me, and it's just from Chemo Care, and it just talks about the drug. Here's the thing. And I think that people assume that these are, you can just be on it for a long time. Just so you know, what starts to get alarming is the survival rates. And sometimes it's not good to know these things. I'll be honest, I was trying to find it on here. Because it's probably on this gigantic one that has all this little teeny tiny writing. But like, here's what is scaring me about this one. You have to watch your sugars. And I'm not a good, I have a sweet tooth like you wouldn't believe. So we'll just see how it is. But these drugs, here we go. Okay, months. Like, let's be clear. Here's the survival rates. So, median time people with PIK3 mutation lived without disease progression from the start of treatment. So, with the 2 drugs mixed together, just the pill alone, or just the shot alone, 5.7 months. Together, these 2 drugs, most people who tested positive got to live 11 months on this drug. So I think when people assume that you got a new drug, that you get unlimited time, you get what you can get out of them. And literally the drugs aren't meant to be long. Like if you can get some of them, you get like 4 months added of life. Like that's what you get. So this one is 11. That's quite a bit. That doesn't mean I'm going to get 11. That means that that's what the clinical trial found. So we'll see. Okay. You guys are probably already sleeping and thinking, lady, stop rambling. Sorry, we had a lot to cover for 2 weeks. And Gracie has to say hi. Okay, tomorrow we're going to make canna butter. What else are we going to do? Talk marijuana. Bear with me. Don't give up on me yet. Don't judge on the marijuana. I'm not pushing it. I don't sell it. I should, but I don't. I just think don't dismiss it as an option. I think there's a lot of alternatives out there. I think this is a really good, viable one. So, check out on Tuesdays. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody near and far in Germany and Shanghai and Hong Kong. Everywhere. My little Germans, I love you. Okay. Sweet dreams.